All cowboys and cowgirls, it's your old buddy Sheriff Dominic here with the All-American Casino Guide. The only casino guide you need that's going to give you the tips, tricks, tutorials, and trivia you want to know about casinos and casino games. This is our late night poker tournaments that we run here at house. So we're going to go ahead and watch a little overhead view of everything they did. And we're going to give some commentary on what they did right and, more importantly, what they did wrong. But I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong. You're not watching all the videos on our channel. We got a whole mess of them. But if you're a real fan and not one of them fake fans you hear so much about, you're going to slam that subscribe button and ring that subscription bell because you do not want to miss any of the exciting updates we put on the channel with all that regularity. Hit it. All right, so this is the first hand, okay? So we got, looks like Arctic Fox is on the button, all right? Or is James holding a dead button? I'm not quite sure here. Either or, Cowgirl is the first to act. She's gonna fold at 5-7 as she should. Arctic Fox, being relatively inexperienced, is gonna go ahead and bet for the 3 queen on the big blind, okay? Small blind deciding, does he want to, oh, he's going to raise. Queen 2 offsuit, or sorry, Queen 2 suited, not good enough. Arctic Fox should have never gotten this hand in the first place, but now she feels pot committed. She's going to go ahead and bet. Do a match bet. Going to call that. All right, so we're going to be playing two-handed here. All right, 3 cards. Jack, Jack, King. Looks like no real help specifically to either players. No diamonds for help Red Star, so that's kind of devastating. His hopes of a flush are pretty squashed. Looks like neither player wants to push in. Okay, so now we got 10, Jack, King, Ace. But more importantly, we got Arctic Fox, who's got 10, Jack, Queen, King. So all she needs is a 9 or an ace for that straight draw. So 6 of hearts is not really going to help anybody except Red Star, who now has 2 pair, 6s and jacks with an ace kicker. He's probably not feeling real confident, but he's going to go ahead and make a bet, which shows that he has a good hand, that he got something there. Because the last 2 hands he's checked. Arctic Fox just wants to see what he's got. Again, it's not a good idea to bet just so you can see other people's hands. So a little bit of a side note. Did you know that Richard Nixon actually used to play poker? He was quite a rounder in his day. Back when he was in the Navy, he used to play every day, and he made about $150 a month. He actually even used the money he made playing poker to fund his initial congressional race in California. Quite an interesting little fact there. $5,000 he raised playing poker. We're on our 3rd hand now. Looks like the first to act is going to be Arctic Fox. She's sitting with that pair of 10s. So the smart play here is just to bet the big blind and see what the other players do. She goes ahead and does the big blind, like I said. Okay, Red Star got pretty much the same hand, 6-10 offsuit. He's going to fold it. The small blind EM decides to limp in, and Cowgirl's happy with her 7-4 suited. She gets that 4, but unfortunately the ace and the king pop up. That's not great for anybody, but she doesn't know that. So I'm a little scared if all I got is a pair of 4s, and I'm seeing that at the table. First to act, of course, is going to be Arctic Fox after Cowgirl, who checked. EM is going to fold because he doesn't want to bet any more money with that. He doesn't have anything. Okay, Cowgirl feels confident with her pair of 4s. Let's see what happens. Okay, 2 of diamonds. Rather clubs, 2 clubs. Arctic Fox feeling pretty solid with her pair of 10s. I wouldn't, though, with aces and kings out there, but, I mean, you're playing two-handed. Last card is a 6 of clubs. Looks like there's 3 clubs on the table, so I'm always concerned about flush draws. Arctic Fox is keeping that pretty standard $50 bet. Show hands here. Looks like 4s get beaten by 10s. Side note about other famous people who were famous poker players. Mark Twain, well, actually Samuel Clemens, who later became Mark Twain, we used to work on the riverboats, as you may know, and he actually was a big fan of poker. He wrote about it quite a bit in his various books. Arctic Fox has ace 8 and Cowgirl sitting at 4-7. She's the big blind, so Arctic Fox is the first to move in. Okay, she goes and matches the big blind. Red Star, ace queen. Okay, gonna go ahead and raise by 40, pushing EM and Cowgirl out because they have rather weak hands, as you would expect. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so Arctic Fox has to decide if she wants to match that that raise from Red Star. I think she's got a pretty good hand, but Red Star, of course, is edging a little bit of an advantage over on her. Okay. All right, money's good.
Are you any good at them? So you were looking at us like, oh wow, amateur.
Okay, King 7-4. No help there for anybody. First to act is going to be Arctic Fox. She's going to, I think at this point in time, I would check to see what Red Star is up to. But she also might be deciding to make a feeler bet. A feeler bet is, yeah, okay, so a feeler bet is just throwing out a big blind bet in order to see if after the flop, your opponent is feeling confident about their hand still. Okay, so 3 of hearts, no help there for anybody. All right, another feeler bet. Arctic Fox is happy making that feeler bet, or matching that. All right, so last card is an 8. Okay, so Arctic Fox is going to go ahead and match up her 8. So that gives her the advantage over here, and that pretty much wraps this up because with no other matching cards, she's going to go ahead and bet, looks like 20. Red Star is going to go ahead and try to bluff his way, raising it another 60. Not intimidated by his play. She's going to go ahead and match that. All right. Ace Queen. That's ace high at that point. Versus Arctic Fox, who actually has ace 8. So at least a pair of 8s. Something is better than nothing. She wins the pot. All right. All right, Arctic Fox sitting with a pair of cowboys. Quite a good hand. Sitting on the button here. Cowgirl with her 7-3 suited clubs. Has to decide what she wants to do. Does she want to limp in on the big blind? I probably would. Though for whatever reason, I don't like clubs. I know there's no statistical reason to not like clubs, but hearts and spades are far more likely for me, in my experience, to turn into flushes. I don't know why. I just rarely ever see a flush from clubs. That's just a personal thing. Red Star with his pocket 8s is going to be playing the hand as well. Oh my God. And that's exactly why you play pocket pairs, because this is when things like this happen. You get trip 8s. Though I would be concerned about the 7 and the 10 on the board. So Cowgirl, obviously, she's out of the hand, but she would have paired up that 7. Arctic Fox sitting with a pair of kings. Okay, so Red Star pushes heavy. EM is going to fold, as he should, because all he's got is 2-3 off suit. You know, he was the small blind, and it didn't cost him very much more to get a flop, but it did not really work in their favor. Okay, Arctic Fox, you know, got that heavy chip lead, looking for that third king. Okay, another 2. On a side note, did you know that there was a woman by the name of Annette Albestrom who actually won a poker tournament only looking at her cards once through the entirety of the poker tournament? She actually only looked at her hand once, and she was somehow able to win. That's quite the gut shot, in my opinion. I don't know. It must have been quite intimidating though, having a person not looking at their hand and you know, just seemingly playing based on only the information you're giving her, and playing just with her gut. That's interesting. All right, so this is unfortunate. Is Red Star was able to slow play Arctic Fox rather well, revealing the pocket eights, three of a kind. That's going to be better than a pair of kings. Okay, so all that money is going to go over to Red Star. Okay, so now we have Red Star on the button, small blind and big blind, EM and cowboy respectively. Arctic Fox with another massive hand. She's got pocket queens. Okay, so she's got the ladies. What is she going to do with it? I would go ahead and just make a minimum big blind bet. Don't push in heavy yet. Red Star's got 7-4 suited. He has to decide. What he wants to do. I would probably go. Oh, he's going to fold. That's interesting. I would have actually, with that last win from that last hand, I would have probably pushed in at least a big blind bet at that point, and I probably could have got away with it. 9-10 Jack. Okay, Arctic Fox is looking pretty good with a straight draw. 8-9-10 Jack. EM's looking pretty good. Cowgirl, pair of jacks. She's doing the best right now. Well, not actually. Arctic Fox with her pair of queens doing the best, but. All right. Ooh, another 10. So we're looking like Arctic Fox with a pair of 10s and a pair of queens. EM with a pair of 8s and 10s. Cowgirl with a pair of jacks and 10s. So Arctic Fox has the slight advantage right now, but that could change real quickly with another jack or another 8 hitting the table. Let's see. She checks. Or calls, rather. All right. Last card. This is the river, and the river is a 6. Okay, so no straights out there. Everybody got 2 pair. The problem is Arctic Fox has a slightly better 2 pair, and she's doing the right thing here, slow playing. But I would have re-raised that last. I mean, there wasn't really anything on the table that was too concerning. If Red Star stayed in the hand, he would have pulled a straight, you know. Red started this hand, though. Jack, Queen. Now he's got the high connected suitors. Cowgirl's going to fold 2-7 offsuit, as she should. Arctic Fox is going to play on Queen 3 suited. Red Star definitely, he's going to raise the big blind. That's as he should. EM with his King 8 is going to limp in. Money's good. He's pretty short stacked right now. Still needs to bet more. Oh, okay. They limped in on an all-in bet. The dealer allowed her to make a string bet. Typically, you won't find that in competition or casinos. They won't allow you to string bet like that. Once you declare a bet, that's a bet. Once you declare a bet, that's a bet. But if they allow you, you know, sometimes you can say, oh wait, actually, I want to go all in. I would say always stick with your first instinct and whatever you say first. I mean, technically it's binding. But it also transmits the wrong kind of message to people if you're hesitant about going all in. I wouldn't assume that a person who's betting and then decides to go all in, I feel like they're more frustrated than actually confident in their hand. So Arctic Fox, I mean, this is all pre-flop too. This is rather interesting. So there's not much to go on here. Cowgirl is probably very happy that she got out of the hand before money ever left her pot. So Red Star has to make a gut call here when he likes to play conservatively. Now he's playing, I mean, he's playing mathematically correct, but I think he's definitely outside of his comfort zone. So 7 of diamonds, 3 of spades, 8 of spades. Looks like EM matches that 8. Arctic Fox matches that 3. No help for Red Star. So checks all around. No money. Okay, ooh, interesting. Another jack. Jack of hearts. Red Star is now sitting with a pair of jacks, which would be top pair. He's got the queen, so he's probably got damn near top kicker. He's going to make a good sizable bet. EM's already all in for, so now we're forming a side pot. Okay. Oh, and a 4 of diamonds. Okay, so that looks like it's not going to be any help to anyone. Looks like Red Star has somehow locked this in with just a pair of jacks. It looks like he's going to win the whole pot with just a pair of jacks. So if you liked that video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or any general things you want to add to the channel, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. We have a number of other late night poker commentary videos that follow this format. We also have a number of other great tutorial videos on basic and intermittent strategy guides that could be used for Texas Hold'em, Omaha, variety of different things, even slot machines. Go ahead and slam that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that way you will not miss any videos we put up in the near future. Guys, my name's Dominic. This is the All-American Casino Guide reminding you, play responsibly.